Simple interest. Now, in this case, the formula here is given by the simple interest is equals to PRT over 100. P is the principal amount, R is the interest rate, and T is the time. Now, let us try to use the simple interest formula to help us solve the following questions. Christopher deposited $10,000 into his bank account at a rate of 2% per annum, meaning per year. Simple interest for 3 years. Find the total interest at end of 3 years. So this is only asking for the total interest itself. So interest is given by PRT over 100. P is the principal amount. R is the rate. And time of 3 years. So this will give us the total interest of $600. Okay, and now part B, they ask us to find the total amount. Okay, total amount of money at the end of 3 years will means I will have my original amount, $10,000, plus my interest. Now the next type is, I have now the question is given that the interest rate is given in per annum. Okay, and they ask us to count the simple interest, but it's for 18 months. So what we usually try to do, we will try to put everything according to yearly. So we're going to change my answer. My interest is already in per year, but I have 18 months. So I'm going to change 18 months into number of years. So 12 months is equals to 1 year. So 18 months will be equals to 18 divided by 12 times 1, which is 1.5 years. So they asked me, the next question is, how much did he owe the bank? Okay, so when he talking about how much you owe the bank, does he owe the bank only the interest? Or does he repay only the principal? Or do he need to pay both? So in this case, it's actually talking about total amount. That means it's looking for both the principal and the interest. So let's first count the simple interest first. PER time of 1.5 years over 100, and that will give me $225. But is this the final answer? No, he wants to know how much he owed the bank. So that means he owes the bank in total the original amount, the principal, and the interest rate, which gives a total of this. Now, next type of the question, given the principal amount and interest and time, they ask me to find the interest rate. What is that talking about? Now, let us take a look at our question. We already deposited $800 into his bank account at an interest rate of R% per annum. That means I don't know my interest rate, but I know that I'm calculating it at simple interest for 3 years. And at the end of the 3 years, he have this total. Find the total interest that he earns. So what is the interest that he earns? So to find the interest, you take the total amount that you have, subtract away the principal amount. And in this case, he will get a total of $52.80 of interest. Then now the question asks us for part B to calculate the interest rate. How do I calculate the interest rate? I know that according to my simple interest formula, I equals to PRT over 100. So now let's sub in some numbers that I can have. The interest I is actually, which value? Is it the R or is it the $52.80? So it's actually talking about the money, $52.80. And this principal is $800. The interest rate is now R, which I do not know. Okay. And then I have interest rate to calculate this interest for 3 years over 100. So what can I do now? I can actually calculate this whole value over here, this portion in terms of R. That gives me 24R is $52.80. So now let's work out how do we find R. So interest rate will be given to be $52.80 over 24. And that will be an interest of 2.2. That means in this case, the interest rate is 2.2%. Next type 4. Given a total amount of money, time, and interest rate, find the principal amount. So in this case, we do not know what is the original amount of money that's being deposited. So the question actually tells us that a sum of money, so it's just a sum of money. What does the letter use to represent the sum of money? That is the principal P. This is deposited at 7% per annum, simple interest. So if the total amount of money received after 3 years is 7744, find the original sum of money. Now there can be two different methods. One is through simple percentage ratio, proportion. The other one is through using the formula. So I shall do the method 1 first. By interest and percentage. So now my original sum of money is how many percent? 100%. They tell me that I have 7% increase every year for 3 years. So after 3 years, how many percent will there be for my interest? I will have 3 times 7, 21%. And this amount of money, 7744, is actually the total amount of money for 100% plus my interest. So in this case, 121% represents a value of 7744. To find my original sum, 100%. How much do I get? Using my proportion, 100 over 121 times 7744. And I'll be able to get my answer of $6,400. So therefore, original sum for method 2, we are going to use a little bit of algebra. Most of you may not want to use this method. So now they gave me that this number 7744 is actually my total amount. Total amount is equals to having the principal plus your interest. So the total amount is now 7744. But the principal I do not know. And the interest in this case that I get is PRT 7 and 3 years over 100. So this gives me P plus 0.21 units of P. So what does this mean? This actually means that 1 unit of P plus 0.21 units of P, I will have a total of 1.21 units of P. And after that, I try to divide by 1.21 to find the value of P, which gives me also $6,400. That's all.